The Cradle, 8th of October 2023, the attack's sponsors, China and Russia, demand peace negotiations and a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Russia, China, and Iran sponsored the strike to divert American attention from the war on Taiwan. Following Hamas' massive attack inside Israel on October 7, Russia and China have demanded a truce in peace talks between Israel and the group, while the US and its allies have reaffirmed their strong support for Israel. This is a 75-year-old feud resurfacing. All sides, including the Arab states, are in communication with Moscow. On October 7, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov told TASS, "We demand an immediate ceasefire and peace." On that day, hundreds of Hamas fighters from Gaza entered Israel by sea, land, and air, murdering at least 700 Israeli troops and settlers and kidnapping about 100 others. In addition, Hamas fired more than 5,000 rockets at Israel, prompting Israel to assault Gaza with airstrikes, killing 370 Palestinians. In the occupied West Bank, the Israeli army slain 8 more Palestinians. Hundreds of Hamas fighters are said to have been killed by the Israeli troops. "We demand that a peace process be launched immediately based on globally recognized agreements already in place. This is the outcome of resolutions made by the UN Security Council not being carried out, the Middle East Quartet's work being impeded, and negotiations not taking place," according to Bogdanov. Sly and merciless. On October 8, China also called for calm following a day of conflict. A spokesman for China's foreign ministry said, "We call on relevant parties to remain calm, exercise restraint, and immediately end the hostilities to protect civilians and avoid further deterioration of the situation." In the statement, China promised to endeavor relentlessly to establish peace in the area. The conflict's resurgence demonstrates that the protracted standoff in the peace process cannot continue. Implementing the two-state solution and creating an independent state of Palestine constitute the primary means of ending the conflict. The spokeswoman stated a greater need for the international community to act. In addition, Saudi Arabia demanded a two-state solution and a de-escalation of the Israeli occupation of Palestine, which has lasted for decades. The Saudi Foreign Ministry released a statement saying, "The kingdom recalls its repeated warnings of the dangers of the explosion of the situation as a result of the ongoing occupation, the denial of the Palestinian people's legitimate rights, and the repetition of systematic provocations against its sanctities." A pact to restore relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel seemed on the verge of completion, but the Israeli response to the Hamas attack has raised doubts about its viability. Normalization of ties between Saudi Arabia and Israel is a top priority for the White House, which has stated its unwavering support for Israel during the crisis. Following the unexpected attack, President Joe Biden promised to ensure Israel has what it needs to defend itself and denounced the unconscionable strike by Hamas fighters on Saturday. "The U.S. stands with the people of Israel in the face of these terrorist assaults," Biden informed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. "Without exception, Israel has the right to defend its citizens and itself. Attacks by terrorists are never justified, and my administration steadfastly supports Israeli security. This is not a moment for any party hostile to Israel to exploit these attacks to seek advantage," the president said. "Everyone is observing." UK, France, Germany, and Ukraine, allies of the US, also denounced Hamas.